Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 20th of June. The first important news, that is Manipur High Court admits review plea filed by Meitei body. There's a conflict which is ongoing between the two community in Manipur. So we'll see the detail. I have already made a discussion in this regard, but in this news we'll see what is the take of High Court. Second, that is India and United States to discuss every issue relevant. So Prime Minister of India is visiting United States. So in this regard, both countries will look forward to strengthen their bilateral relationship. Third, that is WTO toxic syrup prove flag concern with the manufacturers specifically from India and Indonesia. Second last, that is for Finance Minister called for efforts to push farmer to cultivate millets. This is something to promote millet. In this year, 2023, we are celebrating International Year of Millet. And the last is an editorial affair settlement. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And before I begin this session, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do hit that like button. And if you have qualified prelims and you're looking forward to strengthen your mains preparation, we have come up with a new program. This is a test series cum guidance program named as Abhiyut. And in this program, you'll be providing the entire coverage of the general studies paper, mastering each and every subject of the general studies. This is available both online and offline. Along with the courses, we have 4 general study tests. This is full length test, followed by 2 essay tests and ethics test, which is an important component in the examination. If you're interested, you can reach out to us with this contact number, even if you can refer to the website to directly further get the details and register for the course so that you can have an optimal time utilization, and this will be definitely beneficial for your mains examination. Now, the first news of the day, that is Manipur High Court admits a review plea by the Meitei body. Something important for General Studies Paper 2 in mains, that is structure, organization and functions of executive and judicial. So recently, the Manipur High Court has admitted review petitions, and this review petition called to modify the contentious 27 order by the Manipur High Court, right? I'll tell you what actually the court has said in a while. So which directed the state government to recommend the inclusion of Meitei community into the ST tribe. This has led to an escalation in the entire state and complete disturbance is there, and even the central government is of the opinion, I'm just making my word with a caution, central government is with an opinion to come up with the part of president rule, whether it is required or not, but they are thinking of this. Now, the court issues notice to the union and state government seeking their response to the next date of hearing, and the review petition was filed by the Meitei Tribe Union, that is MTU. Now, what was the Manipur High Court ruling? As I have stated, that the court has directed the government to consider the inclusion of Meitei community into the tribal list of Manipur, and it has observed that the petitioner and other group has been fighting for along with this inclusion, suggesting that it is an important issue for the community and overall representation of the Meitei community. The court has directed the government to submit the recommendations considering the case of petitions previously in the 4th week with the receipt of this order. And some brief about the ethnic violence which is ongoing in Manipur. So the conflict is between the tribal group. The first group is the Meitei tribal group and the other group is Nagas, right? So this is the resident of Manipur and Kuki. So these are the two groups which is predominant in the region, right? And they are fighting why the inclusion is there for the Meiteis, right? And the tribal has a long history, political, economic, culture grievances. The valley, which accounts for 10% of Manipur geography, is dominated by the non-tribal group Meiteis, which account for 64% of the state population. So these facts are important. Now, which cover 90% of the geographical region, and it's homes to more than 35% of the official recognized tribe. Manipur has been seeking the ethnic violence with the dominance of the Meitei and the other people living in the area. The community is Koki, Jomi, and Nagas, tribal people, since the dispute with the ethnic violence that is ongoing between the state. Moving to the other news, India United States to discuss every issue relevant. The Prime Minister of India is on a visit to United States, and this will be his first visit after the new US President, Mr. Joe Biden, has taken the US President. Something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries on India's interest and India's diaspora. The Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, is visiting to United States on a visit from 21st to 24th. And during his visit, Prime Minister will be hosted by the US President and the First Lady of United States. Additionally, the Prime Minister will also address the joint sessions of the United Congress on the same day. And the discussion between the Prime Minister and the US President Joe Biden is likely to focus on the commitment of upholding free and open Indo-Pacific, deepening trade, enhancing security cooperations. Now, looking into the part of focus area, specifically if you see the focus area, how it is going. So China, countering China vis-a-vis Quad, which is again an important component. So the US is trying to boost India as a democratic bellwether of a rising China, the cornerstone strategy to ensure free and open, prosperous, secure Indo-Pacific region. The defense cooperation, that is the defense, that would be a major part of discussions between the two leaders. And this will also try to move India away from the Russia's hardware because of the Ukraine invasion. US and Western sanction is there with Russia. The US and India are expected to sign agreement on bilateral defense cooperation, especially in the transfer of critical technology. I have already made a discussion to this, and co-development in the cutting-edge military hardware. Now, India is expected to sign the deal for procuring 18 arms MQ-9B Sea Guardian drones. Now, Russia or Ukraine conflict की अगर बात करें, India has maintained a neutrality, and India has been vocal on the part that the part of the negotiation is only a solutions. So this was the India's stand. US President might bring the issues on the meeting and seeking India's PM to take more principled stand on the issue. Now, farm subsidies की अगर बात करें, India has been consistent in maintaining the WTO with regards to the dispute there was with regards to the food subsidies, which India said that the compliance to the WTO will definitely impact the food security in India. So this issue impact the food security need with the developing countries, specifically for India. And India want to revise the formula of WTO to calculate the current domestic farm subsidies extended by the developing countries. अगर इंडिया ने इस एग्रीमेंट को साइन कर ली तो जो सब्सिडीज इंडिया जो दे रही है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया फार्मर्स को वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा लिमिट होंगी एंड इट विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल टू प्रोवाइड बेनिफिट टू ऑल. सो दैट इज द रीजन इंडिया हैज़ नॉट साइन द WTO part of the farm subsidies. And last but not the least is the Yoga Day celebrations that the Prime Minister will lead. This is 21st of June, celebrated at International Yoga Day, important for many other competitive examination at the United Nations headquarters. And later he'll address the joint session of the US Congress. This will be 9th International Day of Yoga that India is celebrating, right? So this numbers, date is again important. Many a times a direct question is framed in the examination. Now, WHO toxic syrup proof flags concern, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the issues related to development and management of health. So the World Health Organization, in its proof with regards to the contaminations of the cup syrup, it has said that 300 worldwide that has been reported because of this toxic medicine, specifically in this medicine, cup syrup, paracetamol. These were the tablets and syrup that were used and originating from the country like India and Indonesia, which has created a very bad impression for the industry. As per the proof, all medicals are syrup, which include the cough medicine, paracetamols, and vitamins. Now, they include 15 previously identified contaminated syrups, which are manufactured in India by the Haryana-based Madin Pharmaceutical, Noida-based Marion Biotech, and Punjab-based QP Pharmacare. So the rest were made in Indonesia. So these two countries have been found with malpractices, and even the safety and the efficacy of the medicine was not as compliant to the human requirement. Now, मेडिकल प्रोडक्ट अलर्ट भी की गई है. WHO ने अपने बेसिकली प्रेस रिलीज में अलर्ट किया था, and they found that 15 medicine which is there in Gambia, Uzbekistan, which is made by Indian companies, are found to have reported death with 88 individual last year, and other countries like Micronesia and Marshall Islands. So it has raised alert in Indonesia with a syrup that sold domestically linked to the death of more than 200 children. Now, earlier this June, the Niger drug controller has raised alert after the paracetamol syrup, which is sold in Liberia, contaminated with diethylene glycol and ethylene glycol, which is a harmful chemical for human body. The syrup was manufactured by the Mumbai-based company, and the medical product alert has already ensured that they should not be consuming this product. The contamination can be lethal to the human, and this product need to be removed from the complete supply chain. Now, report of death, if you see globally what were the cases that were reported, Uzbekistan have reported with 18 children dead due to acute kidney injury with this two syrup, which was made by the Noida-based Marion Biotech. And even similarly, in instances of were reported in Indonesia where death of 200 children due to acute kidney injury linked to the 8 contamination syrups. So these were some of the death specifically reported. There are all other death that has also been reported, but I'm just giving you the broader picture. These were the death that were reported. Now, intervention by the government of India, definitely if companies are under the rules and regulation of government of India has to take some actions. Following the incident, government has said that they have put in place the mechanism for all cough syrup means to export and test it before they are actually shipped out. And the notification in the May have come up with the guideline that the cough syrup need to receive a certificate of analysis. This is known as COA. In the countries for the drug laboratories, the 2 regional testing laboratories for NEHABL accredited state centers will be allowed to export that. Now, moving to the other news. Finance Minister called for efforts to push farmers to cultivate millets, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is effect of policies and politics of basically government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from it, design and implemented. Just to correct, this is the correct syllabus. Now, the Union Finance Minister has called for a concentrated effort which aims to sensitize the farmers and even provide them a good remunerative for the productions they are doing for the millet. So specifically, Government of India is trying to promote the production of millet across the country. This year we are celebrating International Year of Millet. 2023 is an year of millet, and this was hugely pitched by India, supported by all member countries, and India has already celebrated National Year of Millet in 2018. So these are some of the important facts that you must know. The minister directed the National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development to sensitize farmers to shift towards more remunerative but less water-guzzling crop, especially millet, pulses, and oilseeds. Now, the production are marketed as Shri Anna, which the finance minister has already quoted during her defense speech, being the national priority in the International Year of Millet. Now, digital capabilities or rural financial institutions की भी बात की गई. Actually, finance minister was addressing the NABARD seminar. So she also emphasizes on the part of digital capabilities for the financial inclusions, including the regional rural bank, facilitating the priority and augmenting the financial inclusions. NABARD would take steps to augment the rural credit by correcting regional imbalances, better productivity, including the non-farm sector. The finance minister directed the NABARD to facilitate the aggregators of organic produce and the farm produce organization to focus specifically on the northeastern state, beside taking step to augment the rural credit in the country. Now, just to give you the brief about the productions in India, state-wise millet productions. So most of you must be thinking that the highest millet of productions are there in South India, but it is actually low. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu is just 2% contribution. Rajasthan contribute 39%, highest among the all states. Then we have Uttar Pradesh, followed by Haryana, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh, right? So these are the compositions of the producing. If it is asked in examination, the correct answer for the highest producing state will be Rajasthan. If you see country-wise productions of millet, definitely India is a leader, followed by the United States of America. Then we have Nigeria, China, Ethiopia, Niger, Mexico, Mali, Sudan, Brazil, and other countries followed. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, a fair settlement, something important for General Studies paper 3, that is Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth, and development. So what I'll be discussing in this editorial, first is the theme. The theme is that RBI framework for default settlement. We'll see who are the willful defaulter as per the definitions by the RBI. Now, apart from this, when is the cooling period, minimum cooling period that is there, right? Then the compromise settlement that is there, concern, and the way forward. So recently, we have also made a discussion to this news where RBI has issued a circular on the willful defaulters and the companies involving in a fraud that can go for a compromise settlement or a technical write-off by the banks for the financial companies. This was in the circular that was released by India's apex bank or the monetary policy regulator, that is the Reserve Bank of India. Now, to ensure the maximum recovery from distressed asset, the Reserve Bank of India has allowed banks to go for compromise settlement with the fraud account or the willful defaulters. Now, the first question that is there, what is willful defaulters? Who among the following will be categorized as a willful defaulter? So the name itself is evident that one who is able to make the payment and he is not paying the payment intentionally and will be considered as a willful defaulter. So one who has a capacity to pay but they are not paying it intentionally, right? That is known as willful default. And there's another procedure that will be followed, that is a minimum cooling period, which is also known as MCP. So the minimum cooling period will be set, which is set by the central bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India. And the RBI said that the minimum cooling period will be for 12 months, right? So suppose a company A who has just come up with the loan settlement and he has a debt or NPA. So if the amount is settled, so the fresh loan can be given only after the duration of 12 months, right? This means the willful defaulter of a company involved in a fraud can get a new loans after 12 months. And the regulated entities like bank, financial companies are free to stipulate the higher cooling period in terms of their broad approval policies. Now, compromise settlement is again one important component. So it refers to the negotiation settlement where borrowers offer paid the amount to the final settlement, which is the negotiated amount. And the settlement involves various parts of where the sentence sacrifices, a write-off is given, and the waiver portions are due and will be paid on one-time basis. So there is no alternative that you can make. This should be done and a one-time payment will be made for the part which is there at outstanding. Now, some concern that is regarding to the sections of the banker that can have a detrimental impact on this functioning of the banking, specifically the NPAs are very high. If we are giving a write-off, it will definitely stipulate and it will basically impact the part of the banking system health. This is what has been reported. And in the last 2 years, the banker have approved several compromises settlement with a huge crore of haircut reductions in the outstanding payment of the loan will not be repaid by the borrowers, leading to the losses to the bank. So we have to see whether these are feasible, viable options or not, and there should be some capping in the prices that will make things more viable and feasible. Now, the way forward, definitely RBI which is the regulatory body when it comes to the part of settlement, when it comes to the part of NP and regulation of the banks. They have also come up with the Regulatory Review Authority 2.0, where recommendations were there for the draft instructions, and the stakeholders' comment were finalized for the feedback. Accordingly, more strengthening will be there. And the bank are the commercial enterprises that should be allowed to operate accordingly. Futures public discourse should be focused on the fundamental problem and not only how the banking or the RBI could play a role in moral policy. We have to see the feasibility of the economy, and even if the losses are there that cannot be mismatched, ultimately the burden will be borne by the citizen of this country. So everything should be put in place and look into the part of holistic view for betterment of the society in large. Now moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is A. For second question, the correct option is B. Today's MCQ for practice about the deep fakes. So it's a compilation of artificial images and audio that put together a machine learning and algorithm. The term deepfake originated in 2009. So do check it out for the correct options. Second question of the day is the surety bond assurance. These are the contract of two-way generation agreement that guaranteed payments for the issuance. And even they are developed by alternative bank for restructuring of the infrastructure project. So check out for the correct option. Practicing a lot more current affair question will give you an added advantages in the real examination. We have a lot more other platform where questions are also published on a social media platform. You can check it out. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any queries about the courses and admission, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.